In this video, I'm going to reveal the exact strategies that we use for our clients to test their Facebook ads creative and copy. I'm going to show you the exact system that we're using in two different clients that run two separate strategies so you could use what's best and most applicable for you. I'm actually going to walk you through an exact setup for these two clients and show you tests that we've run, the success of those tests, and then more so how we level those up and scale those tests further. Everything we're talking about here can be used across all KPIs, but is really focused on cost per acquisition and maximizing your return on ad spend. So in the first setup, we're going to be walking through an Advantage Plus campaign setup and how you could actually test your creatives in two unique Advantage Plus campaigns. So the first campaign that we're going to go to is the scale campaign. It essentially shows only your ads that are absolutely the best, and you could spend a ton of money on them because you know that they've proven to drive a positive return on ad spend for you or above your KPI that you're running towards. And we have 14 proven ads that function highly across the board. In this case, our return on ad spend is 2.65, which is great for this client. We're really aiming for a 2, but because this is the scale campaign, it really needs to carry the highest return on ad spend in the entire account. The other campaign is the testing campaign. The testing campaign actually has quite a bit of budget spent, but it has a lower return on ad spend. You can decide ultimately how much of the budget you want to dedicate to testing versus scaling. In this case, for this client, we dedicate around 30% of our budget to testing, and that's mostly because the testing creative that we're running doesn't necessarily do bad. We're testing it, it's still driving a very positive return for us, and then we're scaling the best creatives. Inside this campaign, you're going to notice an entirely different group of creatives. I know you can't see the images here, but what you would see here is a group of completely different images that we are testing and letting run on their own without interfering to see how they perform. For the scale campaign, this is your existing Advantage Plus campaign. If you haven't already created an Advantage Plus campaign, simply go to Create, Sales, Continue, and click Continue from here on out. If you already have an Advantage Plus campaign, all you need to do from here is duplicate your existing Advantage Plus campaign. You're going to go click on your Advantage Plus campaign, click this drop down and click Quickly Duplicate. Once you do that, you're going to have a copy of that Advantage Plus campaign. And in this testing campaign, the only thing that you're going to be doing different if you're testing new creatives is deleting all the other creatives and simply adding in new creatives. I know this is a super simple approach. This is not really rigorous, but the key here is that we're giving new creatives a chance. So we're separating out the two campaigns, we're setting a dedicated testing budget, and we're giving new creatives a chance to scale. Once you figure out that there's a creative that works well, it is now your job to transfer that creative from the testing campaign into the scale campaign. Let me give you an example of this. In our testing campaign, we have a whole lot of ads. If you sort by spend, you'll notice that we have this ad in particular. It's performed at a 2.7 ROAS, which is well above the average here, and it spent $8,000, which is a ton of money to spend and really get our understanding here. 25 purchases over a 30-day period gives you a ROAS that's going to predict what the future will look like. First thing I want to show you all is look how many comments and likes there are on this specific ad. 212 likes and 19 comments and 8 shares. That is hard to get. That takes time to curate. We could actually set this ad up in a way to scale that it keeps all of this engagement. If you were to copy and paste this ad into the other Advantage Plus campaign, it would actually lose all of the comments, lose all the likes, and have to start from zero again. That's a huge loss for you because you're basically resetting the ad twice to test it twice. What you would do here instead is you click Edit on the ad, Advanced Preview, Share, Facebook Post with Comments, which is going to open up a new link for you, and you need to find in the URL the final string of numbers. This exact string of numbers is what you're going to copy, and then you're going to go back into your ad account. You're going to go to your scale campaign. Once you're in the scale campaign, go into the ad level, click Create. You don't need to name this ad. And what you're going to do is go to Ad Setup, use existing post, and paste that string of numbers that we copied from the preview and click the check arrow. Once you do this, the exact ad that has all the testing, all the learning, everything that you just did is going to live in this new ad set. This is going to allow you to test creatives at a smaller budget without interfering with your best performing campaigns, and then transfer them over to a scale campaign where they could spend more and more and more and fight for dollars at the highest ROAS possible. Something that's key here, you do not want to accept any text variations. You need to make sure that your Shop Now button and your call to action work, and you do have to import new URL parameters. So just be mindful of that. Check the ad, preview the ad, click around in it one more time, because this is a brand new ad that's being created and we don't want to make a mistake on it. Now I'm going to show you a more complex setup involving bid caps and cost caps. So first off, we're going to show this in our primary prospecting campaign, which is a catalog bid cap campaign. What this means is that we actually set our bid strategy to bid caps instead of lowest cost. This is very different than how most people run their ad accounts, but the key of a bid cap is you set the highest you want to bid for any single conversion. So once this campaign exits the learning phase, it should never overperform the bid cap. After I get through the learning phase, 90% of the time, Facebook is going to get me conversions $100 or less. And most of the time, they're actually going to be way cheaper than $100. And that's going to save me a bunch of money on spending on conversions that were not worth it and not profitable for my business. Also, it's going to vary my spend day by day more frequently. So when market demand is high, I'm capturing that demand. And when market demand is low, I'm saving my money. When you're testing, you don't actually need a specific campaign associated to testing. All you need to do is create a brand new ad set specific for testing. Here we have an ad set that is brand new, that specifically has new ads in it that we're testing. So what we do is we set the bid cap exactly the same as everything else in this campaign, and we just let it run. About 7 days from now, once this has about 25 purchases over a 30-day period, all we're going to do is jump into this ad set and we're going to pause down any of these ads that we think are underperforming. So what we would look for that is we sort by amount spent. We'd look for anything that has no purchases and a lot of spend. We'd pause those down instantly. And then we'd look for trends in that creative. What creative is working? What creative is not working? Is there groups of creative that's working better or worse than the other? What's most important for this is that we are simply pausing down the creatives that are not working, because once you pause down the creatives that are not working, you're going to give this ad set more opportunity to scale, and you don't ever need to transfer these creatives around. You don't need to push them into a new campaign or push them into a new ad set. All you need to do is allow the bid control to work. As long as your campaign budget is high enough, there's a very, very high chance that your $85 bid control is going to be abided by from Facebook. And if these posts and ads work really well, then this specific ad set is going to scale. If these ad sets do not work well, then this ad set is simply going to spend very little, and eventually it may have the opportunity for you to pause it down. One of the most critical things is that when you're spending money, you never waste that money that you're spending. So there are always going to be tests. There's always going to be creatives that don't work. There's always going to be copy that doesn't work. But on the ones that do work, it's critical that we don't lose that engagement, that we don't lose those likes, we don't lose the comments, because the comments could tell a story for you better than you can alone in your ads. If you are spending over $30,000 per month in advertising and this video is intriguing to you, let me know at themoonlighters.co. I'm sure we can find a way to work together. If you are under $30,000 in spend and you still want to work with us, also let me know. And if you're just starting out, keep watching these videos, keep absorbing all of these strategies, because eventually you're going to scale your way to 30,000 or more. That is all. I will talk to you in the next one.